Hi everyone, welcome to BREHON Brewhouse in Monaghan, so come on in, check it out. As you come into the building here, it's very clearly a brewery on a farm, and farm diversification at its best. So you can see we've a range of 3,000 litre fermentation tanks, McMahon bottling line, bright tanks, and we pop through into the brew house, another bright tank and three large 6,000 litre conical fermenters. This is obviously the auger for the mill, so we're very grateful that they buy their malt from us. So malt goes in here whole, crushed, augered up in and into the brew house. So this is a 30 hectolitre brew house. You can see this is our mash tun. It's got the rakes inside it there, and then the kettle here with the extraction going outside. You can see nice brew house, plate chiller here for cooling before it goes to the fermenter, and then the fermentation control and control of the brew house machines is in the control panel behind there. Okay, you can see they're really making use of the space here, so they've squeezed a lot of equipment into a small building, but it works effectively. You can see there's good drainage, a lot of fermentation capacity, and the ability to make big batches of beer. I would imagine that the spent grain coming out of here goes animal feed into the dairy cows that Seamus looks after here. So I think he's doing 120 cows, so milking at 4 or 5 in the morning and then coming into the brewery, having a brew day. These guys are working hard and they're doing it in a very bespoke way. So we're going to go and show you the barrel aging room and the work that they're doing on the complex beers. Okay, so the barrels they come from a local distillery. So Seamus works with Cologne, he works with Great Northern, and there's fresh empty barrels arrive into the brewery, and the brewer will fill them with a high ABV stout, and then they age in the barrels, and it varies how long they age, but they're turning them around quite quickly in sort of 3 months, and then they head back to the distillery for a castmates project as well. So these barrels filled a really high quality stout, and we highly recommend that you check out these stouts. Some of the best stouts in the country are being made right here and aged in these barrels. We're in the original homestead, Seamus. This is where your generations of family.
This would be the home farmhouse. Generations McMahon was here. I was here for 5 years myself in a wee room there at the far end. There was 11 of my dad's family in 3 rooms. My great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather goes back a right bit. So so it's sentimental to us. It's a nice wee place to take people on the tour, and it has a lot of heritage to it.
Yeah.
My father and my mother never drank.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you can back now and see us sitting here, John, with a lot of high-end stouts behind us, I don't know what I'd say, but I'd say you'd be proud enough,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of character here. How far does this date back, this building?
Well, the cottage out there is pre-famine, and this house has been here, I suppose, a couple of hundred, maybe 100 years before that. Like, we can just trace it right back to, right through to before the landlords and that type of stuff. So we're McMahons, I suppose. We're synonymous with Monaghan.
Yeah.
Overlooking the yard here is a fort called an Elcha, and it would have looked into the Pale, where where the English ruled from Dublin Castle to Carlingford, and where I suppose the clans of Ulster would have raided into it when it was set up first. So it goes back that far, really.
A lot of heritage, a lot of history.
Yeah.
And you've daughters?
4 daughters, yeah.
4 daughters, yeah. So the daughters are going to take over the...
They're not going to take over the world, but they might take over the farm. So I suppose we've myself and Siobhan, we've had them fairly quick together and pretty young, and we've sent them out in the world. They've all been through college and done them reasonably well. One in Dubai teaching. I've a girl in doing obstetrics as a doctor in Drogheda, another girl doing physio. And my 4th daughter is up in Belfast beside you there, doing something similar.
And the brewing, so you a perfect example of farm diversification that's went well. So you're a dairy farmer.
Dairy farming, true and true. Yeah, a couple of generations of dairy farmers. My father dairied. We grew up at 60 cows. We're up to 120 cows now, and probably, you know, with less labour. So we sat down and we looked at what the hell we were at. Prices were fluctuating from 18 up to 40 and back down to 18. We tried to do a diversification with the milk itself, which is the obvious thing to do, you know, add value to your milk and not sell it to the producer with that money. And couldn't get a license to do it. So I had one night with a few English friends, as you do, drinking craft beer, and I suppose the seed was sown, this could be a good idea. It was sort of starting up there at the time, you know. Yeah. And that's what started, and we set the goalpost in 2014, and with a small Dave Porter plant, 10 barrel, and we've progressed now to 30 barrels. Hasn't been everyone will know it's not an easy road. It's, you know, there's no point trying to dress it up and say it's wonderful, it's brilliant, it's hard work. Yeah. But look, we've probably turned the corner where we're exporting it to 6-7 different markets. Domestically, you know, we're probably getting back the share that we lost because we pushed into the international markets, and it sort of, we cut our tail off maybe to grow internationally, you know. Yeah, but it's important to export in the Irish market. It's still a very juvenile market. Yeah, well look, I give the scenario of the milk producer, you know, 80-90% of the milk produced in the island is made into third products. So only a certain amount of milk you put in your cornflakes every morning. Yeah. Only a certain amount of beer, no matter how hard you try, you can drink here in the brewery or drink in Monaghan, Cavan and Loud. So it was a natural progression to export, you know. Yeah. And there's a good backstory here. A really good backstory, you know, the family farm, the diversification, the heritage, and you've kind of specialised now in the barrel aged. Yeah, well, it's sort of we sort of known, I suppose, maybe as the kings of stouts. We have a good barrel age program going there with the local distillery, Great Northern in Dundalk, and we do cask mates with a good few, 3 or 4 of the prominent. We say craft distilleries, you know. We've Jack Ryan's in Dublin, we've got Killone up in the north, we've done other collabs as well. So we get good fresh barrels. It's just, we can draw them out from the dock ourselves. Only 12 miles from the dock here, so it works perfectly, you know. I know the guys well at Cologne. They're making some nice blends, and it's nice to see you partnering up there, obviously with the Ireland Craft Export. And go back along with Shane and Liam. I say we sort of grew up together. I remember the lads coming down here in 2014 and getting happy with us, we'll say. I wouldn't say getting drunk, because you couldn't fill them lads. But so we've grown up with the lads. You know, we've looked out for each other, I suppose, over the last few years, and I suppose it's natural progression now to do the cask mates with them. Some really good stuff is used out from Cologne at the minute, and the 2 stacks blends are exceptional as well. So the boys really know their stuff, you know. Do you think you've good water here that helps mould the stout better and that's why the stout is just performing that much better? Yeah, well, we have good limey, good hard water here, which does produce really good stouts. We have a deep bore well on the farm, and you know, it definitely does. Plus, we buy some very good malts as well, as you know. Appreciate the compliment. So, like, for the viewers watching this at home, we like to give them a behind the scenes look at the brew house. You're independent, you're family orientated, all values that mean a lot to us, and that's why I think we work well together. I'm asking the guys to view this, to watch, you know, how hard you're working. So you're up at what, 4 or 5 in the morning milking? Just we lay in. I get up about 6, Jonathan. 6, So just to give you a quick background of the dairying. So the milking starts at 6 in the morning. I do all the morning milkings. We have a contract with Landbia to produce cream and winter milk. We get a bonus for doing it, but we produce the same amount of milk Christmas Day as we would in the middle of the summer. Right. Okay. Then the brewery opens up at 8:30, and the plan is to try to get everybody out of here at 5 o'clock. So my new head brewer, James Ward, a young lad. He's taken to brewing, and he's also taken to doing a bit of milking. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, and so when 4 o'clock comes, Jim takes over in the brewery, and James hops into the milking with me. So we'll be drinking tea in the brewery, or having a beer about 5:30.
Nice.
and all good. Yeah, it's working out really well for us, you know.
Yeah.
We've gone through, I suppose the fact that we're out here stuck in the sticks, I know it took you a fair while to get here. You know, they do take the roads in of a Sunday morning around Monaghan to keep them good for Mondays, you know, you probably get lost around in the scheme. It works perfectly for us. We've, as I said, we've gone through a few brewers because of our rural place, but we're proud of where we are.
Yeah.
You know, we're quite independent. We're not in a concrete jungle. We have a lot of heritage going for it.
Let's crack open a beer and see how we get on.
So I suppose the Oak and Mirror is the one that I suppose has defied what our expectations on it. It's
so this is aged for 3 months.
3 months, yeah. I suppose we probably sometimes we can do them longer, but what we're trying to do is get the barrels back to the distilleries as quickly as possible.
The aroma,
launch of a Sunday morning.
The aroma is incredible on it.
You're getting the whiskey there in the nose.
Wow, that's beautiful. Very, very, velvety.
Yeah.
A lot of flavour.
Yeah, getting a lot of chocolate there and a lot of coffee.
And what whiskey barrel did this? Is this?
They're all Irish. So yeah, they're all Irish whiskey barrels. They come and my second in command, Jim Malone. He's very much a whiskey buff, and there's be wee tears in his eyes when I don't mix with the whiskey. There's wee tears in his eyes when he's opening them. So you just say that's a waste of good whiskey, but it's not.
I'm impressed. That's I've had these before. I haven't had the Oak and Mirrors in quite a while. That's tasting beautiful. Very, 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 very good. And it's obviously cool in here, so that's obviously going to warm up, and the flavour will come alive even more so. So Seamus has got export into a few different countries, and it's available locally. You have sales teams on the road. Someone's watching this at home. What's the easiest way for them to get their hands on it?
Well, if they're at home, I suppose go to our website and order it online. It gives us probably the full price that we deserve for our beers. But we've signed up now with Bevella, so for national distribution. You will see us probably in a lot more spots in more prominent off licenses and some of the bigger chains. In the north as well, we've gone with Drinks Inc. as well, so we'll probably see us in all the super values there. So with a lot of stuff going on at the minute. You probably get it handier in Luxembourg or Germany and France than you will in maybe in Cork, but we are slowly but surely getting it back out there with our reps team,
Look, thanks so much for the time today, and be sure to check out BREHON Brewhouse. We'll pop the link to the website below so you can buy some of the beers yourself, and until next time, happy brewing.